Good morning, YouTube. Welcome back to Morning Wood. I'm Mitchell Cotton, and today we're going to be having a serious talk. The 2020 Fantasy Football Draft Strategy. The strategy that I'll be employing, the strategy that most great fantasy players are employing, and the strategy that you should employ because it's the right one. So let's get into it. The first thing, please, this year, go running back early. I beg of you, please. Why go running back early, you may ask? Well, I'll tell you. Wide receiver is so deep. You can get starting caliber wide receivers on your team at like the 50th spot. If you get freaking, I don't know, I'll just pull a name random out of here. Justin Jefferson. Great rookie, great opportunity share, being drafted down near the 40-50 range. Alshon Jeffrey, Deontay Johnson, Preston Williams, Tyler Boyd. These are all names that you can get as your wide receiver 3, 4. Please go running back early because running back is not deep. There are other positions like wide receiver that are deep. Even tight end is deep. Quarterback is deep. Don't reach on those positions because you don't need to. If you go Travis Kelce early, yeah, sure, you're going to have a great tight end, a great starting tight end, but what does that mean? What is the opportunity cost? What do you lose out on running back? Or basically, yeah, we're talking about running back. What do you lose out if you don't go running back early? Well, let's look at it. If you go, let's say you go Travis Kelce, my opinion, the best fantasy tight end this year, and you don't take a running back in the second or the third round. Well, instead of having let's say a second or third round guy, instead of getting a Chris Carson at the third round, you now have a good tight end, but if you wait on Chris Carson, and you reach again the next round for but if you take the tight end and you don't take the running back instead, then basically what's going to happen is once you get into your running back 2 or 3 down there, you're going to be having to reach for guys like Sony Michel, who nobody wants in their starting lineup. All he does is run right into the lineman's ass and then just, I don't even know, smell it? He doesn't do anything. It's just like he gets a bunch of carries and does nothing with them. He's not a good fantasy asset to have. You'd rather have a situation where in the second or third round, you could get a guy, like I said, Chris Carson, Miles Sanders. And then you look at tight end, typically people are only going to take one tight end. And you should also, you can get a Rob Gronkowski. You can get Mike Gesicki, Tyler Higbee, late in rounds, like the 8th, 9th round, you can get these guys. Please go running back early. The running back position does not have a ton of depth. The tight end and wide receiver positions do have a ton of depth. Now, the second point is wait on tight end and quarterback. As I just went through, both tight end and quarterback are incredibly deep. If you reach for Lamar in the third round, seem to be using the third round a lot here, and you miss out on getting a guy like, let's just keep the same example, Chris Carson, Miles Sanders, throw Clyde Edwards-Helaire into that conversation. He might not be there, actually. Throw a guy like Jonathan Taylor into that equation. Yeah, you got Lamar. Congrats. Rejoice. But what happens when your third running back option is Kerryon Johnson? You're going to be unhappy because he's got a floor of 6-7 points. Not good. Whereas if you went for a guy like Clyde Edwards-Helaire, who has top 10 running back upside, and you wait and you get a guy, Matt Stafford, Matt Ryan, Carson Wentz, Tom Brady, Baker Mayfield, all these guys are poised for great fantasy seasons, and you can get them in the sub 10th round. You can literally wait 10 rounds, stack up on your running backs, stack up on your wide receivers, and then back-to-back rounds, 11th, 12th, 12th, 13th, 12th, 11th, go tight end and quarterback. Because they're deep. Running back is not deep. Secure them early. Don't reach on quarterback and tight end because it's going to bite you in other positions. And if you're in a one quarterback league, then the quarterback position isn't as valuable. If you're in a one tight end league, or even a non-tight end premium league, which most people are, basically where the tight end doesn't get extra points or isn't valued higher, then The tight end doesn't have a ton of value either. The trade value for quarterbacks and tight ends is not nearly as high as it is for running backs and receivers because they're more valuable, they tend to score more fantasy points, and they're more relevant year after year. Please, please, please just wait on quarterback, wait on tight end, and go running back early. The 2 points that I just made there kind of tie into each other because if you go with one, you should hopefully have the other and not just take like Deshaun Watson in like the 4th round. Like, don't be that guy. Like, everyone sees that guy and you go, oh, you got him in the 4th round, huh? Really? Well, you had Leonard Fournette sitting there, and while Leonard Fournette isn't a great running back and he might bust this year, the opportunity for him to have a higher ceiling is much greater than Deshaun Watson, Drew Brees. Don't go quarterback early. Don't go tight end early. Just wait. Get the running backs. If you're the guy in the league who has 5 good running backs, 3 good starters, and you just have 2 on the bench who are putting up 10, 12, 15 points a game, and there's the other guy who has injuries ridding his team, like everyone has every single year. There's always going to be injuries. Your trade value for that guy, you can get so much back if you package a running back and a wide receiver than as if you have Travis Kelce on your team. Because if you got Travis Kelce but you don't have any other positions and you go to trade Travis Kelce, you don't have as much leverage in the trade because people are going to say, well, let's question why you're making this trade. You have a good tight end. Now, the tight end is not as valuable as a top running back. So they can basically bargain you down rather than you bargaining them down and making a good trade. Running backs have the most value. They're always the most fantasy relevant and fantasy prevalent position in fantasy. They have the most upside. They tend to score the most points. Get the running back early. Don't make the mistake everyone makes. Unless there's, again, I gotta qualify everything so that someone doesn't try to rip my heart out and say, oh, you dumbass, if you have Michael Thomas at the 2nd round, then I should always take him? Yes, you should always take him. If Michael Thomas reaches past the 5 pick and he's there sitting at the 6th pick, take Michael Thomas. He shouldn't be there. You got to have an understanding of where players are sort of going, and I'll give you that understanding throughout the entire offseason, don't get me wrong. But unless there's good value, don't reach early. Just get the running back, secure the most important position, have the trade leverage as the season goes on. It's going to pay off the most. And lastly, please, I don't even know why I have to say this. Like, I get a headache, think I'm going to get like a nosebleed or something whenever I hear or see people take defense before the last round. Please, everyone, just stop what you're doing, stare into the camera, or just intently watch your microphone if you're on the podcast. Always, always, always take defense as your last pick. Please, please, I'm begging you. I don't even know what I'll do. I'll mail you something. Like, I'll literally write out a letter and say, hey, here you go, pal. Good job, if you do it. Because people who don't, and fuck kickers. I'm not even talking about kickers. Kickers suck ass. Just don't even worry about kickers. Take the defense as your last round because most people stream defenses anyway. We think there's a defense that's going to be hot throughout the year. Like a lot of people were high on the Cowboys defense last year because they had a good strength of schedule coming into the first 6-7 weeks. So people think, oh, I get the Cowboys, then I got a good defense for the first few weeks. Cowboys turn out to be bad. They're like in the kind of like 20 to 24 range all year, 18. And suddenly you're picking up defenses every single week on the waiver wire trying to find out which one you want to play that year or that week. That's what streaming is. You can stream defenses, you can stream quarterbacks, you can stream tight ends. You can't stream running backs or wide receivers as well. Those are guys that you're going to pick up on your team and you're going to keep them for weeks. So please, it shouldn't have to be said, but I just want to make sure that I say it so that nobody makes this mistake. And then someone asks me a question and say, oh, I took the fucking Ravens defense in the 11th round. And I say, who taught you? Like, where did you go wrong? Show your work. Where did you go dumb? That's what I need to know. Please, just wait on the defense. Everyone should always have to do that because it shouldn't have to be said again, but please do it. So guys, those are kind of my main tips for the 2020 draft strategy. To recap, go running back early, please. Wait on tight end. Wait on quarterback, please. They're deep. Your difference between Deshaun Watson, Kyler Murray, and Stafford and Matt Ryan is not going to be big. And there's still the opportunity that they could finish ahead of them. Like Stafford was fourth in points per game last year before he got hurt. 2 seasons ago, Matt Ryan finishes the quarterback 2. Like, these guys have the opportunity to do anything. You guys know what I mean? So go running back early, wait on tight end, wait on quarterback. Pretty please for all 3 of them, and go defense in your final round. Don't ever take a defense before the final round. It will fuck your team. You'll be pissed. You're probably just going to have anger issues and might need to see a therapist. Just wait. It's the right thing to do. All right, guys. Thanks a lot for watching. If you enjoyed it and think that my strategy is good, subscribe and like. Hey, leave a comment. Let me know that you think what I'm doing is somewhat good at all, or that I give any sort of decent advice. That'd be sick. You'd make my day, put a smile on my face. Not that you give a shit, but make me happy. Again, if you hated it though, you can frame my picture on your wall and then just write "fuck that guy" and then mail me a copy of that, because that'll just, you will absolutely, my entire year will be made. You know how much fun that would be is if I just got to hang a picture on my wall of someone signing it and telling me to go fuck myself. Like, that would be legendary. I would absolutely die for that. That would be sick. But anyway, guys, yeah, just hit the like, hit the subscribe button. I have a ton of fun doing these, so whether you like hearing me talk or not, they're going to keep coming. Sorry, not sorry. Morning wood, stay hard.